Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I was trying to get this whole quilt into shot and I've given up. It's too big. I just can't get it there. So you have got probably, you'd have about 80% of it, and I'm hoping you can tell from looking at the top, you've got a fair idea what the bottom looks like as well. So I'll just wait for a couple more people to come online. As the saying goes, good afternoon, Pat, Tina and Jenny. Jenny Miller, you are still here. Oh, with Flynn. Hi Flynn, good to see you. Well, Flynn might like this afternoon's quilt from Eileen Campbell too, you know. Good afternoon, Marie. How are you? Hello, Barb. How are things with you up north? Good afternoon, Melanie, and Karen's here. Oh yeah, glad you made it. Whoopie-doo. Flick, it is a stunning quilt, and behind this one, Felicity Bonner, is yours. So hold your breath for a couple more minutes. Good afternoon, Kathy. Are you doing okay? Is all good up your end of the world? We need to catch up, Miss Kathy. We do indeed. Pam, good afternoon. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Hey, it's starting to look a little bit bare around here because every time I take quilts down, they get neatly packed away into their suitcases or their boxes. Once I've shown you Felicity's this afternoon, I've got to pack all hers up and send them back to Tassie. Eileen's back into suitcases. It's looking a little bit sad, but it's a little bit deceiving because we've still got 2 days of quilts to go. And there's a little sunny corner of Alyssa and Rachel Daisy quilts over there, and another bag for the challenge. So we've got a little way to go, just a little way to go. Yeah, oh, and there's another Eileen Campbell I'm saving for tomorrow morning. There's a few special bits still to go. So this afternoon, without further ado, this is a magnificent cathedral window quilt that I have been made custodian of. And I'm using the term custodian. May I interrupt myself just for a minute? Hazel, hello. I'm going to ring you this afternoon or tomorrow morning. I have not forgotten I need to ring you. I hope you don't mind. I've just added that in, folks. I don't want to say it was given to me or bequeathed to me because it actually belonged to the grandmother of a lovely colleague of mine at the Australian Botanic Gardens. And Catherine's family were going to take it, you know the line, don't you? Was going to take it to the op shop. Yeah. No. So she brought it in and showed it to me and asked me if I would like to look after it, if I thought that someone would appreciate it. So I must say I haven't actually found the proper platform, well, besides showing you today, to show it in yet. But I think we're going to get there, and I'm hoping Rachel's watching as well. And if not, I'll tell her to have a look because I think she would love this as well. We think it's about 1950 to 1955, around that era that Catherine's grandmother made it. And I think what is the most impressive thing about this quilt, besides the layout, I mean the layout of the colours on such a huge scale is incredible. And you have to think about it, that this lady, she would have only been able to lay it out on a bed. She hasn't got phones and design walls or quilt programs or any of the things that we have at our disposal today. So she has literally worked that out herself as she's gone. And the colours are so now, but we're talking 60, 70-year-old fabrics that are in the quilt. So I do love this quilt, and I do intend eventually, when we get ourselves a nice big guest room somewhere, that I'm actually going to put it on the bed because it's just too special to have folded up in a cupboard, and it needs to be appreciated. You know how you've got that guest room where you just walk past it and you just glimpse it, and it's always perfect, except when the rallies come to stay at Christmas. That's where this quilt belongs. Make sure it's not in the direct sunlight. That's the other thing about it, it's not faded. It's just beautiful. In such an interesting choice of colour for the background colour for these cathedral blocks. It is quite, you know, it's a coffee cream, not the obvious choice, but I'm really happy that she chose that, because if she had chosen white, there's a giggle when you see Flick's quilt behind it, if she had chosen white, I don't think it would now look as good as it does, and it stood the test of time, and it's super clean. all handmade. I'm very, very lucky to have it in my possession. These pops of colour. Jason Yenter in the beginning, a couple of years ago, did a beautiful floral garden collection of little prints, little English prints. Oh, I was so tempted. I was so tempted. Yeah, and I think it's got Liberty written all over it. Just the layout and the colours, I think I could almost do it. So you never know. But yeah, beautiful quilt. And I'll bring it out every now and then. I think we'll honour it, and we'll do a little cathedral window special either on the Craft and Cook show on my YouTube channel, or we'll do it in one of our Facebook Live day shows. Oh, I think it deserves a YouTube show all on its own, and we'll do some cathedral window work. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. All right, now, what have you all got to say to me? Hello, Cheryl. Yeah, Flick, I love the colours too. Thank you, Lynette. Kathy says, oh, you're all good and you're out of lockdown for now. I love you where you're at for now. Who knows what's going to happen next week. Having lots of fun playing. Yeah, well, it's all right. I'm here when you need me, Kathy. The whole world knows you've got a new Benina now, so, you know, whenever you need me. Good afternoon, Fiona. Good to see you. You're most welcome, Sharon. And, yeah, it's all super good. Hello, Judy. Still good with you. You're all still here. That's lovely. All right, so behind this, I've got one of Flick's quilts, but I've got another Eileen Campbell to show you. So let's do the switch. We'll take you over there. Now you've got that little close-up, that little sneak peek of that magnificent lyrebird. And now, listen, I am so sorry about the emergency exit sign behind all the quilts. When I put the first one up, it covered the sign. Oh, it's so unprofessional. You'll just ignore it, and I'll cut it out of the photos again. But at least you know the way out. You know the way out of my studio now, because the sign's right there. If Meg, if you're watching, you can laugh your head off, because Megan used to work for a company that did emergency exit signs. It's just, there you go. Oh, Carol, looking forward to cathedral windows. Good. That's all I need to know. That has spurred me on. That's what we will do. We will definitely do it. Okay. This beautiful quilt that you are looking at the moment is called Childhood Memories. Made for the Festival Gallery of Quilt Art, Memories of My Childhood, for Houston 2012. So it's nearly 10, really? Oh, no, it can't be 10 years old. I remember Eileen grabbing this from my shop. Wow. That's just amazing. That time has flown. Someone said the picture's blurry. Is the picture blurry? It's not blurry at my end. It could be reception, not sure. And I don't even know who just sent that to me, so I'm sorry. But my pictures, I think it's okay. I'll move it in a little bit, just a little bit. But I've got an auto camera, so it should all be fine. I can see what is pixelating though. Can you see that? The gold that's on here is actually pixelating in the picture. I'll come in and give you some close-ups in a tick so that you can have a look a bit closer at it. Right, awesome. Christine, are you out again? Where are you? You're fishing down the Tambo River. Of course you are. Where else would you be watching a quilt show but while fishing? It's just the technology, isn't it? You can take it anywhere. All right, the significance of the lyrebirds is explained on the quilt. I'm going to read you a little bit off the quilt. As the eldest of 4 children, there are many happy memories. Photos are printed on inkjet, printable fabric, and the yellow flowers are derived from ivy I should have read this first. Goodenia. I knew that. I didn't say it very well, did I? Of course it was exhibited all over the world, including World Quilt and Textile Exhibition in the US of A in 2014. It did win Pictorial Quilt at Showcase as well. It's just... Now, what are we going to give you? We're going to give you some close-ups, but I'll read you this first. It says, a special memory, we stayed in a bush cottage and in Sassafras. So for those of you that are from and not from around this area, and not from the Dandenongs, as most of my family are. It's up in the Dandenong Mountains, so the ranges behind, up the back of Melbourne, northeast, that way. So not as big as the Blue Mountains, but they're our mountains, and we love them. So they're really lovely. Every morning a lyrebird came up from the gully. He sang and danced to his reflection in the window. Oh wow! Few people ever see this beautiful bird in the wild. We were very privileged. Yes, you were. Absolutely very privileged. So, see how dull it is this afternoon? That is not my cameras. It is dull. It is just dull. We had a beautiful morning, and now it's just not bright anymore. I think that's better. Now you can see it. Now can you see the ombres? See those ombres behind the trees at the top? Very, very clever use to get the light and the dark coming across. So again, using ombres vertically instead of horizontally, so the dark out to the light on this side. Stunning. Okay, so yeah, sassafras. If you where have I seen lyrebirds? Badger Creek Weir, up near Hillsville's the other good spot. If you go up early enough in the morning, if you can get to Badger Creek Weir. So through here, childhood memories, you've got the family home, beach days, digging in the sand and swimming, always drawing. Oh, Eileen looks so cute. In the post hole, oh my God. The vegetable garden, tea parties, holiday outings, backyard fun, new rooms, a special doll, family celebrations, off to school, in the band. I played the flute. I didn't know she played the flute. Trailer rides and all of us and bushwalking. A quilt that has been shown quite publicly as an exhibition quilt, but a very, very personal memorabilia quilt. And I think that it speaks volumes. It's just beautiful. And I can relate to, have you ever taken that drive up through Mast Gully, up through Ferntree Gully? That's it. All right, let me give you a couple of close-ups so that you can see it. First of all, what I will do is just zoom this in for you so you can see those photos. See that? Aren't they beautiful? Just beautiful. And, you know, sorry, Eileen, but kind of showing your age, I'm looking at the clothes as well. Now, in that photo there, you've got another little close-up of the lyrebird's feathers. So you can see those a little bit better there too. I'm going to I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. No, I'm not. Did you see the camera move then? That was me risking it. Okay, I'm going to pick the other one up and give you a little bit of a better view. It's gone all wonky, hasn't it? That was me. Okay. There we go. Right. Let's zoom in. So back to this gorgeous lyrebird down here. Jelly Miller, you'll have to take Flynn. You'll have to take Flynn up to Badger Creek Weir, mate, to try and see the lyrebirds. You're not far from there, are you? Okay. Look at that shrubbery there underneath. Isn't that beautiful? Up into the trees. So really nice small textured fabrics Eileen selected for the trees. And I'll just take you across and give you a close up on some of these photos here. You've got your little 3D flowers here too. Gorgeous. Oh, you've gone. There you go. I've got a little bit of a dodgy wire going on there. Now I'm going to pop that there for you just to have a look. There we go. At this little guy here. Check out his feathers. When you get up close to this, as you are, and not a reflection, Eileen, they're not that dense, are they? They're quite open, but it's the effect of all of them together that makes it look really complex. And I think you can just see in that photo I was talking about that gold thread that was just pixelating a little bit on the screen. That, I'm pretty sure, is couched on braid. And we've seen that in some of Eileen's other quilts this week as well. just that little hint of gold around the edge. It's very calming, that quilt. It does make me feel like sitting in a little log cabin or something, or a little cottage, bush cottage up in the Dandenongs in winter. It's got that feel. Lovely, lovely. Okay, bit of a contrast now. I'm going to take you over and show you Felicity's quilt. This quilt, I don't know if Flick actually had a name for this quilt. I'm not sure. But I've called it Broken Opals because of the colours that she's actually used in it. Now, the light, as I said, not that great this afternoon. It looks quite stark as well because it is a white quilt. So you see I've got my lights here. I'm going to try and just bring these in a little closer so I can shine. That's a bit better. Shine that on there. Predominantly white. So there are square and square blocks in there, and then see the little curves. They are, you know, those really cute little, just fold back your triangle corners, but it's created a lot of movement in the quilt. What I find really interesting about what Flick's done with the colours and the colours and the blocks in this one is that she's used really traditional blocks and my fabrics, but she's come up with a really contemporary look. So it's just, I do really like it. I think you can just see them on here as well. She's done some beautiful stitching through here. I'll pop it in the photos post-show for you. And it's variegated thread. So it's all the colours of opals with this little splash of a stripe with a little bit of metallic in it. That's really good. And she's folded them back, but this is really very, very interesting quilting. She's used white for a lot of it, but then every now and then she's come back over the same lines where she's quilted in the white and added variegated colour. And that's what, to me, makes it feel like broken opals or opals showing through, white opals. It's really, really nice. And again, really interesting choice of sashing for the outside in this autumny gold, but it pulls it all together, and even more so for me, if I think of them as opals, then this is the sand at Cooper Pedy. So that kind of finished it off for me. Little folded prairie points around the inner border here, and then also out on the outer border, and you'll see every now and then she's just done little things. She's got little bits of metallic gold fabric here for the binding, a little bit of green over there. There's pinks and things down the bottom. So it's just, when you first look at it, you go, oh, that's quite a simplistic contemporary quilt, but there's lots and lots of detail in it when you get up close. So I do like it. I'm not too keen on sending it back, but it's got to go. It's got to go back. Okay, so what I wanted to show you this afternoon was just a little quick demo. I'll need to go and grab that other camera back. Yesterday we did a little demo on, what did we do? Oh, sorry, square and squares yesterday. I'm thinking, I know what I'm doing. I really do know what I'm doing. Square on squares that I thought would be a lot of fun to do with the grandkids on the school holidays. And I've got another one for you this afternoon. I'm going to find that dodgy wire later. I really need to find it. Just going to lower this down. I feel like you're all part of the production team when I do this to you. There we go. So I'm lowering it down, and then I'm going to show you the ironing board. There we go. All right. And I've got my iron here. I'm out of practice. Just what, 1 week without weekly demos on Facebook, and I'm out of practice. Right, we'll plug this in. Be careful not to stand on Catherine's quilt. Oh, this is here because I had to remember to tell everyone bag batting is back in stock. So our rubber foam batting, Steve's popped it up on the website. There is heaps there for you. So you can grab it by the ½ metre piece. It's back up 58 inches wide. So soft and stable in the building. Yeah, because we've all been waiting, haven't we? We have. Right, we'll change over the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. That one. Right. So this little technique is going to make you these. So it's just another cute little thing that you can do with kids on the holidays. And if you have a heap of little buttons, you're going to want a button for the middle, I think, or you can make yourself a little Suffolk puff. There you go. All right. So using your charm square pack or whatever you like, but remember this is the one that's in our show bag. We've got a few left, and remember these packs are only available till Sunday. We've done all the orders that you've put in. Thank you for this week, and I'm just going to cut them now one at a time up until we finish on Sunday. So you've got 20 different fabrics in there, and they're all 10-inch squares. And if you've missed it, the other thing in your show bag is your Under the Australian Sun scarf and your lens cloth and your trivet, all for $52.50. I'll pop those back over there. So what we're going to do today is grab your squares, get into the cupboard, whatever plate size you can fit on. I had a large Maxwell & Williams side plate in the kitchen here at the warehouse. Things are pretty grim here now because I've got all of my studio and sewing at home now, so there's not much here. But I grabbed the plate and I can see I've drawn a circle on, and then I have sewn right around the circle, just left a little gap on one side, and then we are going to cut it out. So just with a really scant 1/4 inch seam. So again, with the kids on the school holidays, or if you've got them homeschooling, I was speaking to Jennifer this afternoon. What happens with homeschooling now? It's very technology, primary school, and there's all different sorts of things happening. I thought we'd just be sitting down doing maths and spelling. Oh no, it's full on, absolutely full on. But what I do if you've got little ones on the school holidays, get them to draw on the circles for you onto some of the squares, ready for you to sew. Then they'll feel like they're part of it. Okay. Then in the little gap that you've left, get your trusty forceps and pop them right up inside. Grab a bit on the end. Remember, I say always make sure you've got the handle on the top of your thumb so that it's in the right position to grab some of the fabric. We can just pull that right through. Try and leave as little as a hole as possible because you're going to need to sew that hole up, or I suppose you could top stitch around it actually. Get the kids to bag it out for you and then get them to sit and roll. I remember learning how to finger press roll from my grandmother. It was sort of interesting because she's a very proper English lady, and she really wanted to tell me I could spit on my fingers or lick my fingers. I'm just getting that little hole there. Lick my fingers, but I felt that she thought it was an improper thing for a little lady to do. I think in the end she gave me, remember everyone had a sponge for their stamps before we had sticky stamps? I remember she gave me the sponge to wet my fingers on in the end. I don't think she liked me seeing licking my fingers so much. Okay, so I'm just pushing all of that out into shape. This one, of course, because I'm showing you kind of quickly, is not going to be super perfect, but just press all that out. And I'm just going to give it a press. I know you can't quite see what I'm doing. I'll move things up the ironing board a bit. So you might want to give it one go, and then just go back again and get it as neat as you can. You know, I do think if you're happy to run with the top stitch, I do think it would look super good, and then you wouldn't need to slip stitch up this little hole. There we go. Okay. Then the next thing you can get the kidlets to do for you is mark it up. So you want to mark it into quarters. So if they fold it in half this way, Really need that. They fold it in half this way. You would probably use a pin, but if you've got the kids doing it, get them to use a Frixion pen. So it will come off later. So mark that way. So both these points like that. And then turn it this way and pop those 2 points together and then mark the other sides. Okay. Right, and then depending on the age of your kidlets, as Emma likes to call them in the building, this is quite a simple sewing thing that you could get them to do. So they're going to pick up each of these marks. So I'm going to pick up one there, and on this first one I like to go over twice so it's secured, and then we'll go across to this one. It's going to pull into the middle. It's going to pull those 2 points together, and I just do one little stitch over there. Then it's going to open up and you're going to pick up one of the marks on the other side. I think this sort of thing is really nice to do with them because it's tactile. And if you have a drawer full of hankies or napkins that you're not using, just give them to them to use on the holidays. You keep the scissors away from them and they will just get to this point and have a little bit of a play. Sorry, not hankies, what am I trying to say? Round doilies. If you've got some doilies that they can use, round ones, just let them have a play and do this, and you can pull it out later when they're gone. Right, so they're all together. Just do one more in there. So if you did the sewing of the circle, there's hardly any sewing in this. That's it. Just going to chop that. Then it's just a case of them sitting and manipulating out the folds. So if you're going to do it, what I suggest to get an even finish, have a little ruler with you and measure down that you're folding down the same amount on each side. So if I aim for about 1/2 inch on each one, like that. Like that. And then we'll sit it down on the board and just have a little play and pull out those corners. Pull each one like that. Just keep having a play until you're happy that your sides are straight. If you've got it sitting on your cutting mat as well, you'll be able to square it up really nicely. So I've just done that. And then I'm going to iron the bits in between, so the actual pieces that will sit square. Now my plan with these is that we'll be able to put these together a lot like a cathedral window and a lot like the bound edge hexagons. So we're going to be able to make these up. So a little bit of play. I haven't got my cutting mat here, so I'm just winging the shape a little bit. But we'll be able to make these and whip stitch them together. There you go. So cute and so easy, but little people love, it's that tactile thing. They even look cute on the back. So have a little bit of a play, get some little people making them. You could even make these up and 4 or 5 of them together, make them into a little container for them to take home. You can stiffen them out, put some violin in so they've got a little bit more body to them, but that is simply 2 10-inch squares and a side plate. That's all it takes, and so quick and easy to make. I'll just pop the camera back so I can see you. There we go. So get going. You need to go and make some of these because they're just so much fun. And that little collection of buttons you've got sitting in the cupboard. It's time to get them out. Right, that's it for today. 2 more days to go, so we've still got heaps and heaps to see. Rachel and Alyssa in the morning will get the day going with some nice bright sunny quilts. There's still one more of Eileen's that I'm going to show you. I've got another special little quilt here that I kept from our autumn show because of the colours. I'm going to share that with you tomorrow as well. So we've still got lots to go through. And of course on Sunday we'll be talking about the bag challenge as well. So please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you're in Melbourne, wow, yeah, it's wild windy weather out there. So take care and get maybe some fresh air and a walk in before that rain hits. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Okay? Bye for now. Bye.